Welcome back to another spicy episode of Dewan Pandit Indonesia. And today we're going to dive straight into the madness that went down at the Emirates, where Arsenal didn't just beat Real Madrid, they actually humbled them 3-0. I mean, come on, how often do we see Madrid get cooked like that in the Champions League? And with me at the studio today we have Firazi Idris.
Hello. Thank you. Thank you. Wow. Thank you guys. Thank you. I did not expect that at all. Thank you, Anjar.
Quite the adrenaline.
Yang ulang tahun siapa yang kaget
siapa? Enggak, udah curiga. I suspected he gonna do something with that with the drums. But I'm feeling older today.
Happy birthday.
I'm feeling older. I'm Yaya Torres number now. 42. Yeah.
Young.
And I shared the same birthday with Matthew Ryan, the Australian goalkeeper. So happy birthday also, Matthew Ryan.
Brighton legend.
Australian legend.
Yeah.
Right. So happy birthday once again. And of course, we have Adiani and Kiko Enrico as well.
Hello.
Shall we just dissect what exactly went wrong at the Emirates? Was it just a case of Arsenal being that good or Madrid being that lost?
A bit of both.
Yeah.
I think first half wasn't that bad from Real Madrid. It's just that maybe that goal from Declan Rice, it was an absolute blinder. It was spectacular. And I think it hit hard for Real Madrid. They tried to answer back, but they missed a few chances as well. But the way that Arsenal was set up, they were relentless. They were in the front foot. Pressure was good. They didn't let Madrid enjoy the spectacle that is the Champions League, the knockout stages, which usually they will excel. So it's a bit of both. Madrid not playing at their very best, but credit to Arsenal, credit to Mikel, how they start the game, how they were set up, and that back line. I think now a lot of people has got to put the respect on Jakub Kivior, because what he did last night, a few maybe iffy moments, but going towards the end of the match, and then the way that he played alongside Saliba, it was excellent.
Yeah, I think it's combination of about what Arsenal did right, because it's not only that they won, but as you said, they dominate from possession, from total shots on goals, intervention in the opponent's box, total passes in the final third, and corner kicks. So this is like all across the board domination. Like Arsenal are the only so Real Madrid have beaten like 111 different teams in Champions League history, but Arsenal are not one of them apparently. And when we saw last night, there's ever since the kickoff, we know that Real Madrid are in a bad position right now, especially with their loss against Valencia at the weekend, last weekend, and also the result against Sociedad. I think they show glimpses of weaknesses. They need Courtois to make some blinding saves. But up until halftime, Arsenal just lacking that cutting edge. They're just lacking that penalty box striker. That's been their Achilles heel this season. But with Bukayo Saka coming into the starting lineup, his movement, his penetration, he makes David Alaba, he tortured David Alaba on that right-hand attack side. And the free kick, I mean, I said it on Twitter, like this is teleporting us back to the good old days of David Beckham, Juninho Pernambucano,
Roberto Carlos,
Sinisa Mihailovic, Roberto Carlos, even the great Jose Luis Chilavert. I mean, for the past few seasons, we haven't seen this kind of quality in the free kick. I think there's not a lot of direct free kick goals again, at least in the Premier League. We're not used to seeing that, and then to produce something like that twice in one game, I think. Before last night, Declan played almost 245 games for West Ham, 93 for Arsenal, and 64 for England, and never once had he scored directly from a free kick. So last night was unbelievable.
I mean, on social media it was big. I can't imagine how big it was in Arsenal, in the London,
Arsenal
sorry.
super,
So,
yeah.
2 great goals from Declan Rice. The second one was the better one, in my opinion. Worthy of Clarence Seedorf saying even Superman wouldn't save that. But yeah, everything worked out for Arsenal. Miles Lewis-Skelly's darting run from the left side to the middle. He's been doing that in the Premier League as well recently with Everton as well. So everything is working well. Again, Mikel Merino up that striker position, and what a goal as well with the curl. Going back to Miles Lewis-Skelly, it's his first Champions League career assist. So again, everything working out for Arsenal. Jude Bellingham said, they could have scored more. We were quite poor against Arsenal, so it could have been 5, even if it wasn't Thibaut Courtois. Probably more goals because he saved a lot. He made crucial saves. But yeah, I think Real Madrid need to come back in the Bernabeu and come back with a response. So.
Yeah, so that's the strange thing about the 3-0 is that this is Real Madrid we're talking about. We're talking about one of the best teams in world football. They have that experience, that know-how. Falling behind 3 goals is not easy, but if it's another team, then we say that this 2-leg matches is done in the first leg with that 3-0 statement win. But this is Real, and Rodrygo, as bad as he performed in the game against Arsenal at the Emirates, he can score 2 goals in 2 minutes. So this is a problem for Arsenal. If they're not careful at the Bernabeu, opening 10-15 minutes, if Madrid can blitz them with a couple of goals, then this is going to be a game that is worth seeing for that second leg alone.
Yeah, that's what Bellingham also said. At the post-match press conference, he said that we need something incredibly crazy in the second leg. But if there's anywhere where madness like that can happen, it's at home. It's at Bernabeu. So the Bernabeu has faced a 3-goal deficit 6 times in Europe, and it has overturned it 3 times against Derby County.
That's a great ratio.
Yeah, that's a great ratio, of course.
Great, yeah.
I mean, going down 3-0, it's not that easy, but from 50% of it, you come through. That's still great. Against Derby County in 75, Anderlecht in 84, and then against Gladbach, I forgot to turn on the year, but Ancelotti said we have to believe because sometimes a lot of things can happen in Bernabeu. So I think Arsenal fans surely can face the second leg with a lot of optimism, but the caution very much advised because Courtois also said like what Adi just said. If they can get 2 quick goals in quick succession, the third one will come to them. So this is truly a test for Arsenal to hold on to this lead, and with the euphoria, rightly so, from their supporters after last night's game, it will be a shame if they cannot hold on. They cannot finish the job. So it's very mightily important for them to get past the reigning champion.
Speaking of Bellingham, I mean, don't get me wrong, he's been carrying the team all season, but apparently he was kind of invisible last night. Do you think that's on him, or was it a system?
I think like the whole setup, the way Arsenal pressed Real Madrid is very great, and the way that they bypassed the midfield protection from the front 2 especially. I think it's not just about Bellingham. I think it's about having players like Vinícius Jr. and Mbappé who may be not working as much as they can on the defensive side of the game. So that's why a lot of players in the center of midfield is exploited. I think Bellingham easily can notch an assist if his through ball to Kylian Mbappé was finished more clinically by the striker. But that things happen. But last night, I think the Arsenal midfield just wanted it more than Bellingham, Modric, and Camavinga.
What was your favorite moment from the match last night?
What was yours?
I was a second free kick, to be honest. I mean, that was so good. Top bins and everything. No, but let's come back again to that notion of Bellingham being invisible. I didn't think he was the worst player for Real Madrid. He got key passes, and I think the threat was still on Kylian Mbappé as well, even though he didn't score. So that's what Arsenal need to cover for the next time. And it's like they're proving Adi right in terms of saying maybe they're not going to take Premier League seriously. They just drew against Everton, and now they beat Real Madrid 3-0, and it's such a change of scenery to actually do that you know. So, yeah, they need to be aware of the next match again. But moments like last night is definitely a huge morale boost for them.
I think my moment is looking at not just Declan Rice with the 2 great goals, but players like MLS, Miles Lewis-Kelly,
MLS.
performing like that in such a great stage, a grand stage for such a young player. He's just a kid, but he's so mature in terms of his approach, very calm in situations where I think Rodrygo can get the better of him, but no, he stood there very strong. He made Kivior look good as well. He made Saliba look good as well, and when he comes forward, he has this ability to make the opposition worry about his movements, and him coming inside also is a great thing for him, because in transition off the ball when he goes inside he covers very well too. So I'm looking at him and Thomas Partey as 2 linchpins for Arsenal in that victory against Real. It's not just about the individuals but collectively. I think Mikel, the setup was great, but this I think is an enigma for Arsenal, because if they play like this in the Premier League, then I think everything will change in terms of how they can get closer to Liverpool or even challenge them more. Just that approach that is different this season in trying to defend better, trying to play without the pace that they have. If they do play like against Real, this is like the Arsenal from 2 seasons ago, where the pace was just relentless. You look at Bukayo Saka, not starting since December, but then performing like that. And then Odegaard, he just finds that pass, that key ingredient that needed for Arsenal to push forward, and then makes Mikel Merino now looks like a great forward, which is unbelievable.
6 goals from his last 10, I believe. With if you see the average positioning, Saka is all the way up there on the right hand side. It just goes to show how much aggressiveness that Mikel puts to the players about how he wants to play this game. He knows that Real Madrid are not in a good place. I think in the league also, with a lot of their games lately maybe exploiting some of
they're leaking goals.
They're leaking goals.
And
also.
that position is Alaba, right?
That Alaba,
on that left side.
Where he usually also plays right at the center back. But Alaba also just came back from a big injury also. So he also needs. He's also under pressure. That's very much we can see. I think that's the way he exploited that space. And with Lewis-Kelly, the way he tucked into that midfield. Every time he can, it gives that extra layer of protection that benefits Arsenal so much. Like he's so young. I mean, he's that young that when Luka Modric made his debut at the Emirates in 2006 for Dinamo Zagreb, Lewis-Kelly was not born yet. It was before Lewis-Kelly was born. That's just but that's also the proof of the longevity of Luka Modric's career, but also how good Lewis-Kelly is at the Emirates yesterday.
Going into the second leg, do you have any suggestions for Real Madrid so they can maximize the potential that they have? I mean, the Golden Boys of Real Madrid can't really do anything last night against Arsenal.
Yeah, I think Vini is the one who disappoints a lot. That's for me personally. I think he can do better. But Mbappé tried a lot, but I think he tried maybe too much for himself. There's a lot of moments also when the ball are on the flanks, but Real Madrid players are hesitant to give a cross to the center of the penalty area. Arsenal are without Gabriel Magalhaes, I think their best center back. I don't know why Ancelotti did not play more of that cutting edge crosses that served them well in the past few months before. Maybe correcting their mistakes and then having that belief of scoring a goal, I think in the first 15-20 minutes, just as Adi said, and then let the momentum of the game and the energy of the crowd give some belief into the players.
Anything to add, Kiko?
I'd probably get assured of that dominance of the ball, the possession and everything. It didn't look like they were comfortable with the ball. Maybe because it's the press from Arsenal, but that's going to be key in terms of keeping that possession and going forward. Like Firzi said, they're not trying that crosses. So it's about being more consistent with the ball for me and clinical as well.
Addy?
A slight tweak maybe. They need players coming back from injury. They need Valverde to play up into the midfield.
Yeah.
This is
right back, right?
Yeah, he's playing like Curtis Jones now, emergency right back. They're missing a lot of his qualities in that midfield. And if you look at Tchouaméni coming into the side as well, that's going to be a great plus for Real Madrid. So I think that midfield needs working, because Luka Modric can't do the workload that he does when he was still 32 maybe. Now he's
almost
ancient,
40.
40. Yeah.
Almost
Turning to
42.
42.
He said that in front of someone who just had a birthday.
For Modric to return to North London and become a Spurs player, classic. Yeah, we were hoping for more from Luka Modric. So I think Valverde coming into that midfield, and then Tchouaméni coming into the side, and maybe for Vinícius Jr, for Kylian Mbappé to be more clinical in front of goal, it'll help a lot. So I think the tie is not over yet. The second leg is going to be at the Bernabeu, and when you go to the Bernabeu, it puts pressure straight away when you cross that white line on the side of the pitch, and then you look above the sea of white, even the structure of the Bernabeu with the whites all over with the sheets. And I think no stadium has that. So it puts pressure a lot on these Arsenal players, and let's just wait and see. I hope for the best for Arsenal, and I don't want to see them lose this grip on the match after leading 3-0, which is a great buffer, because we think that 2 goals is possible to take a 2-goal lead to the Bernabeu. But this is 3.
3 needs something extra special.
Extra special, and Madrid has that
And
in abundance. So I'm hopeful for our friends as well, Arsenal supporters.
I
think because they were too happy. Ecstatic. I understand that.
No,
Because
the dopamine rush was probably like next level, for them.
But it's still halfway for them.
It's halfway, So just concentrate, don't over celebrate, because there's a second game. Because that's why I think basketball is a lot better when you go and see the matches, and then you see in playoff matches, like the teams just say goodbye from a distance, because there's no celebration, go straight to the locker. Because it's a two-legged match. It's not over yet, so don't over celebrate. And I hope for the best for Arsenal.
But I think it's kind of hard for them to not over celebrate, because why can't we see this version of
course.
Arsenal in the Premier League?
Best, I think the best night in Europe for Arsenal, maybe in the club's history, maybe their best night ever. And then the way that they played, the way that they destroyed Real Madrid, that's a statement, it is. But still, the second leg, 3 goals, not safe because it's Real Madrid.
Last question. Do you think it's going to be a funeral or another miracle for Arsenal on the second leg at Bernabeu?
I hope for the best.
That's a very neutral answer.
A very diplomatic answer.
I hope 3
so
goals is
unlike
enough.
you.
I hope it is enough,
Yeah, it
but
is
they don't
unlike
have.
him,
I think they can't play Thomas Partey in that second leg.
They can't.
They can't.
Okay.
So I think that would be a problem. And that midfield, if Real can put maybe Brahim Diaz as a starter instead of Luka Modric, that will change things
More
too.
energy in the midfield.
So that 15 minutes, if Real can score 2, I fear for Arsenal.
He's hoping for the best. What about you, Ms. Virzi? Funeral or a miracle?
No, I agree. I think this is Real, because this is Real Madrid. You cannot.
Come on. This is supposed to be the spiciest topic we have on this episode.
Real Madrid. I think Real Madrid has a chance. Definitely has a chance, because with their so-called European DNA.
Yes.
They've been there. They've won it. They've got the T-shirts. So they got everything. Got the posters and everything.
They've got all the merchandises.
Yeah, they got all the traits to make things difficult and can turn things around. And I fear for Arsenal if that first half don't go according to plan, they ship in 2 goals. It'll be problematic. Maybe Real can take it to the penalties.
Yeah, but Real Madrid also, they're not in a good place. I think their shape is not right yesterday, and Arsenal showed from minute 1 that they can exploit Real Madrid a few times. They need that goal line clearance from Saliba. I think they can, if there's not that moment, Arsenal can lead faster, and then Thibaut Courtois has to make a series of saves. So the result does not lie yesterday, but things can change quickly in football. So that's
Yep.
why
True.
Arsenal needs to
You guys are
keep their
giving neutral answers.
Exactly. That's not what I want.
So,
What do you think?
Give us your
What
take.
do you
Because
think?
I think if
As the most
Ancelotti
quiet
can
ones?
fix that midfield
Yeah.
problem,
Yeah.
with maybe
True.
Valverde coming there and maybe Garcia playing on the right side of defense, and maybe the worst problem for Ancelotti is whether he can trust Jude Bellingham to play in that
Yeah.
that pattern in that
Yeah.
midfield, because
Yeah.
I think he's slowing things down, and this is problematic because we don't see that Jude that is an attacker for that final third like last season.
Like last
Yeah,
season.
no, it's
Because there
different,
is
yeah.
Vini and Kylian Mbappé now, so this is a bit problematic for Ancelotti.
You're asking me? Okay.
Yeah,
No, I think they'll be able to take it to penalties and whoever wins.
That's what I feel.
Yeah. So and if it's penalties, then I'm more in
that's
favor
what I
of
feel
Fre-
more.
to Real Madrid. So
And
they
there's
have that
away
mentality.
goals,
So
right?
No,
away
goals,
goals.
yeah.
and there's I don't know. There's a but I don't. I said I don't want to see Real Madrid dominating at this point. But it's Arsenal. I don't know. Whatever happened this season with Arsenal, to see them if they lift the trophy.
The Champions League trophy.
Yeah, the Champions League trophy. I know it's quite far still, but I just
I'm not
don't
an
know.
Arsenal
I-
fan, but if
I
they
don't-
lift it, I will cry.
out of happiness.
Aw.
Out of happiness.
Joy,
Out of joy.
and everything.
Right, sure.
Everything.
You think they deserve? You think
I will
football
cry.
deserves Arsenal winning the Champions League?
That depends. It depends. But if they play like the first leg,
Okay, sure, yeah.
they
Okay,
deserve it.
yeah,
And
sure.
I'll be there in München,
Sure.
so I need something.
That's
I don't need Real to win it again. So I need maybe Arsenal to go into the final, make things interesting, or Aston
Right.
Villa go to the
Right.
final,
Ooh.
make things
Yeah,
interesting.
exactly. They play PSG tonight.
Face, because I think Internazionale now is way up there as the favorites with the way they
Forgot about
the
them.
way that they play.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I need something fresh to watch that final, make it fun.
Okay, so that's a wrap on Arsenal versus Real Madrid. Who do you think can pull off a win on the second leg, Jebret team, or is it going into penalty? Write your comments on the comment section below. We'll be back right after this one.